is Russell and or Hunter, usually how it works. Rob's got the day off. Thanks for hanging with me. Appreciate you being here. Hey, and again, go ahead and share this out. Like, subscribe, all that. If you're on X, go over to Facebook. If you're on Facebook, go over to YouTube. Go everywhere and start sharing this thing out. Well, yeah, let's get the word out that Russell and Hunter are doing their thing right now. Sans Hunter, a very disturbing video. I want to start with. I'm not going to play the disturbing video because look, a dead guy. There is body cam video of one of the local police that was on the rooftop after the assassination attempt to Donald Trump. There's a very clear, very gross. Yeah, that's Mike Solo. I'm telling you, I think it's going to stick, Ron. It's just gross. This is blood going down. In a dead body. And it just illustrates, the whole video illustrates that there's something very, very amiss by this whole thing. We're never going to hear from that former director of the Secret Service again. She will never be heard from again. Not saying she got, suicided. She didn't get Epstein at all, but I'm just saying that you're probably not going to hear from her. So we're not going to get a lot of answers. And it is, thanks, Craig. It is someday. But we're not going to hear from her, but we're going to see more footage like this. I'm not going to play the footage because it's a dead body with blood dripping down the thing. I don't get it. We were told that it was a sniper shot to the dome piece. That is what eliminates people immediately. That's how you just go night, right? And that's how it that's how it ended. That's how we were told that the sniper took action and one shot to the head, and the threat was neutralized. So if you see the video, having a hard time with this one. Why is his firearm about 5 yards from him? Again, all this does is just open up more questions about how our former president had his life almost taken from him. Now, there was a threat, an attack on his life. How is if you get hit, maybe I'm wrong. If anybody that studied forensic biology or anybody that can explain to me how they're 2 foot or probably 2 or 3 foot slats in the roof, and that his body is down, blood all the way down. I mean, this one shot gone, done. Why is this firearm 3 little slat sections away from him? I'm blown away by this. I'm absolutely dumbfounded by this. The absolute, either the crime scene was tampered with, or they took the firearm and moved it, which if the man's head was blown and the blood in the video shows this, you don't have to really move it, but it's, yeah. I do agree, Jim. I like the point counterpoint as well with Mike and Rob. But when Rob got the day off, I have Friday off, so just a little heads up there. So you're going to get point Mike and then maybe point that. But maybe he'll watch this show tomorrow or tonight, and he'll have his counterpoints ready on Friday. But more and more questions come up. That is going to quickly go away because we have all focused attention on Kamala Harris. We have all of our focused attention on Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington, D.C., and all of those bozo bonehead protests that are going on, including from the White House. So no one from the White House, no one from the cabinet was there to meet a head of state, our biggest ally, our only ally, essentially, in the Middle East, our biggest ally in the Middle East, the United States of the Middle East. The leader shows up, and no one from the White House is there to meet him. I'm absolutely, they could have stuck Secretary Mayor Pete in there because it was in an airport, and that's kind of in his purview, right? Transportation. But that's where the news cycle is going to go. Baby. That's it. You're not going to hear any more about assassination attempt. It's like conservative Graceland right now, is what that place is. Where Trump had that rally is just like it's every politician. Every conservative politician there is there on top of the roof with their camera out doing their little video thing. Okay. If you want to keep the story going, but don't just say, I'm here and it was a clear shot, vote for me. It's a bunch of garbage. If you're going to give me something, give me something. Like, I'm actually standing where the shooter was. Here was his line of sight. Here's the actual the blood trail going down. His firearm was over here. I have questions. Okay, good. Now you got something. Now you're giving me something. Yeah. I actually did hear that, Rhonda, that Joe Biden is supposed to address the nation tonight. Okay. Somebody sent out a letter on his behalf, and then he told his campaign staff after the fact on a conference call. And he's shown his face in public once when he was being stuffed into a presidential SUV. That's it. That's all we got. So what are we going to get? Kamala. Is that what we're going to get? Too late, Joe. That's like there being a breaking news story here in Phoenix on Thursday, and I reported to you on Monday. You're late to the game. There's nothing that president can say, zero that president can say in addressing the nation. By the way, legally, he can't do that because the hat check. He can't campaign from the White House. But we'll see. We'll see if he's in his basement or yeah. Mm-hmm. Greg, I agree with you. And we're going to get to the support of Kamala Harris. We're going to get to support. It may be, hey, it's like Kamala Harris always talks about who is the best rapper alive, and she keeps saying Tupac, who's been dead for a long time. They have the hologram Tupac. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they'll do that with Joe. Who knows? I wouldn't put it by him. I wouldn't put it by him at all. It wouldn't surprise me one little bit. It looked like the Star Wars scene. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Help me, Kamala. You're my only hope. You're our only hope to save democracy. That's right, save democracy. But before we get off the Secret Service bent here, I want to share something with you that is more telling than anything else. Probably the dumbest thing I've heard in a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, Aisha Haas.
Just breaking moments ago, Brett, I want to tell you that the Secret Service is apparently now telling or asking the Trump campaign to stop doing their rallies outdoors. This is reporting from the Washington Post, just breaking in the last couple of minutes.
Our job is hard. I don't want to do it. Our job is too difficult. I don't want to do it. Our job, Trump, don't do your rallies outside. It's too hard to keep you safe. This is so dumb. This is so telling.
I can tell you that I asked Don Jr. about that at the RNC last week, if he was going to encourage his father to stop holding rallies outdoors. He said that his father would not like that at all. He loves those outdoor rallies. So we're still trying to work this story right now, but that's coming from the Washington Post. The Secret Service is now encouraging the Trump campaign to stop doing those outdoor rallies.
Yes. So that's not going to lead to any conspiracy theorizing, is it? No, that's not going to lead to any conspiracy theorizing when you have a Secret Service is like, no, Mr. President, we know you wanted to be in this big outdoor arena here. Why don't you come over to this one that we've pre-selected for you? Why don't you come over right over here? Why don't you come right over this one? No. We know you want to be in that one, sir. No. We want you over here. Yeah, completely no reason to do that. Mm-hmm. I just don't even know if they're covering themselves up. Greg said that it's CYA by the Secret Service. I don't think there's no CYA. They just don't care. And if they're asking the president of the United States, please don't have your rallies here, then don't have your rallies outdoors, excuse me, then, well, what the hell are we going to do? Yeah. I did. It's right. And Jose brings up a great point. Donald John Trump is not going to a basement. Donald John Trump is actually, and we're going to get to in a minute, he's playing golf with one of the most popular golfers there is and filming it, playing full rounds. Doesn't care. Oh, he shouldn't be doing that. Oh, yeah, why? He's a golfer, and that's what he wants to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kamala's going to do anything outside. Kamala's not going to have any kind of rally. I'll get to this right now. We're just going to jump into it just because that point was brought up. I got this news from a liberal member of my tribe that said, a lot of support, a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement for Kamala Harris, huh? No. Put Kamala in a stadium and you would have to pay people to fill that up. Put Donald Trump in a stadium, which we have several times, it's full, and then he goes out and greets everyone in the overflow section of the stadium. That's actually momentum and buzz and energy behind a candidate. Not the, I want to talk about not being burdened by what was and all that garbage. It's not what it is. These are actually, Trump runs rallies. Kamala's going to do campaign speeches and fall flat because she hasn't done anything. She hasn't shown that she can do anything else. Will fall flat. So this is one of her. This is one of her new messages. Here you go. This is what we get from the. See, I can't even say that. Van Jones told me last night that this is. I need to learn to, the stupid things to say and the smart things to say. Whatever. This is from the horse's mouth.
We'll finally pass red flag laws, universal background checks, and an assault weapons ban.
Yahoo! Yahoo! Go ahead again. Go, girl.
Finally pass red flag laws, universal background checks, and an assault weapons ban.
Yeah, get it, girl. Woo! That's the energy behind it right there. Let me tell you, that's the energy right there. The energy to strip away your Second Amendment rights. Woo! Constitution be damned. Yes, Kamala. This is the most boring, played out garbage ever. I would love to hold a sign at all of these rallies. I'd like to be one of the people behind Kamala holding the sign, and I'd flip the sign around, and the sign would say, "Why didn't you do that when you were a senator? Why didn't you do that as vice president?" Put that right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it's campaign garbage. Is all it is. It's just campaign garbage. Yeah, and that's a great. But that's it. She hates good. You hate the Constitution. Good to know. Yeah, we got to ban all this. Everything we got to ban. All the stuff that we got to get rid of. All the things that are not a crime, whatever. But Kamala's going to be like that. That's going to be Kamala. That's what we are going to have to deal with the Kamala Harris candidacy. And Joe Biden tonight is going to throw his full whatever behind her. But what we do have to deal with is this. And this is a point that Rob brought up yesterday. And Jim, I do understand that Rob and I did a lot of good point counterpoint stuff the last few days. We've just kind of been on a roll with that. But I got to tell you, he brought up a great point that people do not watch cable news. About 1 million people a night watch cable news. About 1 million people watch CNN. That's same with MSNBC, maybe 1.5 million. It's 2.5 million out of 335 million. If you think that Joe Biden got 81 million votes, 2.5 of those million people watch CNN and MSNBC. So what you see on MSNBC isn't really relevant. But if you do pop in as a casual news consumer, this is what you're going to see. Listen to Dana Bash right away.
The kind of thing that is playing out all over conservative media. I just want to do a little bit of record.
This is all over conservative media. You hear her. This is all over conservative media. So she's going to live fact check for us. Here you go.
Correcting. There's not record crime right now. Number one.
Oh, there's not record crime. There quite literally is record crime right now. Here's why they can give you that stat. This is the same way that they could give you that the vaccine is a vaccine. They changed the definition of vaccine twice. And this is how I can tell you crime's down. They changed the definition of crime, and they're not prosecuting anyone. So the actual crimes are happening where there's literal signs in stores that say no one will be prosecuted in theft under $500. In California, it's under $1,000. Just walk out with it. Walk out with $300 in groceries. You're good. We're not going to prosecute you. That's why crime is down. Crime is way up, and we're all paying for it. Do you think Kroger and Safeway and all these grocery stores, you think they're not up in their prices because they have to deal with the theft and the loss? Oh, but they have insurance companies, Mike, to take care of that. Yeah, guess what we pay more than? We pay more in insurance. And they're charged more in insurance, therefore have to charge us more at the checkout line. Crime isn't up. What a bozo. Here you go.
Harris was put in charge, as you said earlier, of combating the roots of immigration. She was not and is not the border czar.
Okay, she is not the border czar. There you go, Dana Bash. She is not the border czar. So let's go ahead and fact check that, shall we? That Kamala Harris has not been appointed the border czar.
And the Biden administration did task Vice President Kamala Harris with the issue of migrant crossings, naming her the so-called border czar.
I've asked her, the VP, today, because she's the most qualified person to do it, to lead our efforts with Mexico and the Northern Triangle.
Oh, the Triangle.
And the countries that help. We're going to need help in stemming the movement of so many folks stemming the migration to our southern border.
We've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making.
Mm-hmm. She was the border czar, but they will the media will cover for her, and okay, that's what we understand that. Now again, back to Rob's point. Rob brought up a what I would say is a solid point, that nobody watches cable news. What they get their news from is social media. What social media is full of is the wait, hold on. Axios, what's it? Brendan says some Axios has an article saying the same thing. Only the old article that surfaced using the exact term borders are exactly. What if you get your news from social media, then you have influencers somewhere in your algorithm, people that are paid good amount of money to reach a lot of people. Okay. And one of those is Awaken with JP. Awaken with JP. I don't know this guy. He's funny as it all gets. It just absolutely hysterical. He's one of the funniest guys around. And here is his gem from today.
For president. I'm so excited. She's our nominee. Wow, there's a lot going on. So Biden had to step out. He can't run anymore because he's mentally impaired. And that mentally impaired man endorsed Kamala for president. Makes sense to me. Kamala's our guy. Kamala, I'm with her. That's what we're saying now, right? We want Kamala. We want Kamala. She's gonna fight that evil Trump to save our democracy. And get this, she's the nominee because the DNC took away Biden's support, money, and delegates to push him out. He then wrote a resignation letter from being the nominee to officially step down. And it had a forged signature on it. That's not an insurrection, is it? And then suddenly the delegates pick Kamala as their nominee for president instead of the voters having any say in it. That's how they do it in North Korea, which is fine because sometimes it's just easier and faster to do it that way. And the result of that whole process is Kamala being the Democratic nominee for president.
Okay, let's break that down. He goes in for another few minutes, but let's break that down. If you didn't notice what was posted on X, on the president's and the campaign Twitter handle, was a letter that was not on presidential letterhead. This was not from the president of the United States. It was not on presidential letterhead. Hell, Barack Obama still has letterhead that basically former president, from the desk of the former president of the United States, Barack Obama. This just had his name at the top. It wasn't even letterhead. And it's a typed out, well-phrased letter. And at the very bottom, there is JP Sears, Lynn, look him up. He's hilarious. At the very bottom is a signature that is almost nothing like any other signature that we've seen him sign. Absolutely no. He does not underline his signature. He doesn't underline it. Never has. This time you're underline it. It just so that's why I said that. But here's the funny part about this. Is that that actual post? It actually took me a while to get to that post. I saw it, but I had to kind of see it. I had to kind of dig through, and this is why. Watch this. Come on, get on there. Come on, get up there. Technology. I've been having fits with technology all day long. Look at this. Altered photo or video, and look who the fact checkers are. This is my favorite thing. Look at the fact checkers. I don't even know what that says. That's in a different language. It says no! Exclamation point. Kamala Harris, non-era ubriaca and non-ha fato al discorso cinco collusionato. That's not even a language. Next fact checker is from Elenica Hoaxes. Their conclusion is this is false. And then it is some Ruski, some type of something I don't know. Mm-hmm. Those are the fact checkers. So on Kamala's side, she has cable news media that nobody watches, and she has these fact checkers that aren't even from this country, not even speaking this language. They're bots. That's it. They're bots that are programmed to anything that speaks negative about Kamala Harris. Altered video. Now, later on, there was video that was altered. It was done by a Kamala Harris impressionist, which was funny as all get out. It was funny. But so there's altered video. So comedy is now fact checked. So we're kind of toast in that regard. But when you have JP Sears with his sights on you, his millions of followers, that is more important than whatever Dana Bash has to say about, I just want everybody to know this is on conservative sites and elitist little punks that they are. We're out here having fun, joking around, poking fun at the entire system. We're poking fun at the damn coup that we just watched, and we're like, and we're having fun. And the fact check, no, that's not right. And on their side, they're like, just so you know, Kamala Harris, you know, they get their underbite, it's elitist nonsense. But here's what Donald Trump has, and I'm being serious when I say this, because this is a solid comparison of two candidates, because I don't know if you know, Bryson DeChambeau is a fun name to say, by the way. DeChambeau is one of the most popular professional golfers in the world. I'm gonna look up. I want to see what let me see what he's ranked. If it gives me a rank right now. He's on the leaderboard so far. He is number one in the. Oh, this is at the Masters. This is the Masters. Holy mackerel! It's a $17 million purse. I'm gonna get the ranking of this guy. He is just absolutely crushing life right now. I want to see. Let me see DeChambeau rank. Let me put that in here. Make sure we get it so the fact checkers don't come after us. Okay. Ranking 2024. He is the number 9 golfer in the entire world. Top 10 golfer in the world. Okay. Pretty big amount of reach, right? Pretty solid amount of reach. I just looked. He has hundreds of thousands of Instagram followers. I don't even know what he has on X and in TikTok. He's probably got an entire staff doing this, because the guy's just a bazillionaire, and he's a good-looking guy. He's a fantastic guy. He went and played an entire round of golf with Donald Trump and posted it on social media. So again, going back to Rob's point, nobody watches cable news. Nobody cares what cable news people think. Here's an example I heard. Somebody said that Kamala Harris is unqualified. And it was a former Trump person. He's a white dude. There was a black woman sitting next to him, and she lost her mind. She said, that is a racist dog whistle. You can't call her unqualified. You cannot call her unqualified. That's racist. And the guy he just sit there and took it. And I was screaming at the screen. I said, you literally spent 7 years calling this guy Hitler. And someone says that someone's unqualified, and that's racist. They put it back in the deck. Sup, Ron? But yeah, just put it back in the deck. And yes, JP Sears is hysterical. Anyway, Bryson DeChambeau went on. They filmed the entire thing, and this was I watched most of the entire round in bits and pieces that I've kind of pieced together. And this is what I've taken from it. Yes, Joe. By the way, Donald Trump was serious when he said, I'm winning club championships, and I can take Biden in a golf round. 100%. I didn't think the guy could play like this. The guy's got game. Okay. Second, he's just relatable, talking about his playlist, and he's got a hell of a playlist. Apparently, Donald Trump is very involved with the music that's played at his rallies. It was played at the RNC. He was very involved in that. Music is very important to the guy. Again, you can think what you want about him. I think the guy's a pompous, arrogant dude. Okay, whatever. But then I see him doing this, and I'm like, he's actually campaigning the right way. Check this out. This is just a par 3. I'll just let you watch it. Hit it. Here we go. It's the ugliest swing. Good grief. It's that driver. Par 4, sorry. Here we go. Look at him. That's an ugly swing.
Oh, yeah. Get up there. Get up. Yes. Yes. Way to go.
And that is the partner. Number 9 golfer in the world. He's calling what a partner, because what they're doing is they're playing best ball. And for those who don't golf, best ball is everybody tees off in the best ball. Everybody moves their ball by the best ball, and they all shoot from there. And the best shot there, everybody moves their ball over there. It's called best ball. You have really low scores. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to break records doing this, and they probably did. I didn't get to see the conclusion of this, but there's Bryson DeChambeau just saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe what you just did with a driver on a par 4."
Hit? Oh my gosh!
Okay.
He was walking it in. 7 iron.
7 iron. 220 to the pin. Bryson DeChambeau. 7 iron on 220 yards.
Man, is that good.
Be good.
Wow.
Okay. I'll take that all day. Those are 2 great shots.
7 iron level. I'll tell you, when you're uphill, it's much longer.
It is.
You know, it's.
But you hit a great drive there. I played it like 220.
Yeah.
That was kind of my thing. 210 to play 2.
Yeah, 210, 220 with a 7 iron, you big jerk. Holy mackerel. 220. Come on.
220. Nice drive around the green. Should be good. And then I had a nice 7 iron up there. You've hit it inside me a couple times today.
Okay, so this is, again, how I've been trying to say this over and over and over again. Y'all, Donald Trump has never changed who Donald Trump is. You can hate the guy. You can dislike the guy. He's never changed. He hasn't gone with the winds. He literally is him. And I'll show you why right here. Watch this.
Actually,
this could be, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, look at that.
Let's have Secret Service.
I think you might.
Those are 2 good ones. It was more at the pin, but
I think you might be closer. Can you believe that?
Hey.
Who's closer?
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, who's closer?
What a shot. Nice.
That's great.
Well, eagle opportunity.
Yeah.
Let's get it back.
Wow, look at these shots.
Look at this.
Who's inside who?
I think the president hit it inside me.
Yeah.
This is one of the greatest shots I've seen in a long time. Drove it to 4 feet. That's unbelievable.
What's this ugliest? Watch. This is the ugliest putt you're going to see in a hot minute. I mean, sorry, the stroke. This is the ugliest. I mean, come on, watch this. Ugh.
There you go.
Ding.
Nice.
How about that? Watch, listen.
He just walks off like a boss.
Yep.
Walked off like a boss, making
just
eagles
eagle par 4. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just making eagles on par 4. The entire round is like that. The entire round is encouraging, cool, mellow. It's just DJ T in his element. And so again, going back to the old talking heads that have done nothing but lie to us through COVID, have done nothing but lie to us and cover up this entire thing going on with Joe Biden the entire time, lying and allowing his surrogates to lie for him, versus some of the biggest influencers in the world. And I'm not talking like the Jonas Brothers. I'm talking, by the way, I'm a Joe bro, straight up. I'll admit that. Rob's one too. Don't care. Total Joe bro. The Jonas Brothers and these weird people all over TikTok and whatnot being at the White House. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about nationwide reach, global reach of who? People that follow the PGA, right? Voters. That's what I'm talking about. This is actually one of probably the best campaign moves ever. You have a professional golfer that's at the top of his game, at the top of the game, top 10 in the world. And he's in awe of a man that he's golfing with that is old enough to be his grandfather out there pacing him. There were 3 holes where they didn't even use DeChambeau's shot in a best ball play. Nope. All Trump, because he had the best shot all the way through. A professional golfer. So that is how you shoot the eagle. That's just fantastic. Anyway, that's relatable. Now, let's go on. Let's stay on this because it's important. That again, nobody cares about what Rachel Maddow was saying, Joy Reid. Nobody cares. The only people that care about what Dana Bash, Van Jones, Joy Reid, and Rachel Maddow are saying are people that would never vote for Trump if you paid them. I mean, you could pay them a lot of money, and then they would still not vote for Donald Trump. They just wouldn't. All right. So let's talk about this. Okay, obviously, top 10 golfer in the world just goes and plays around. It's filmed. It's blasted all over social media. It's shared over and over and over and over again. Millions and millions and millions of views. People see this, and they see a relatable man playing golf with a professional golfer and actually backing up what he says. One of the best commercials I've seen, I think I alluded to it yesterday with Rob, was the Trump shoes commercial from Saturday Night Live, where they basically just, you're not a better basketball player. You just say you're a better basketball player and everybody believes you. So Donald Trump says he's a good golfer. Now it's like, okay, let me go out with the top 10 ranked PGA player in the world and just crush it with him. This is how we're going to do it. So on top of that, the number one kick streamer in the world. The number one. The most Kick is a streaming service that people just watch. The number one live streamer. If I had 10% of this guy's following, I would be off this show as much as Rob is, and I'd be out hunting on private islands, and I'd be out on longshore fishing trips, and I'd be broadcasting from my own island or my own hunting range. This guy has a ginormous following and is absolutely crushing it. He reaches millions of young people a day. Listen to this.
I will tell you this, it's still Trump 2024. I'm not no fucking liberal, libtard. It's still Trump 2024. I'm going to stand by it. I'm voting Trump 2024, and that's it. And I promise you I am. All right? 2024 Trump. He's an American hero. All right? And he took a shot for all of us. Straight up. I'm going to say it right now. I don't give a fuck. You guys don't have to like me. I don't care. It's Trump 2024. I don't care. All right.
Okay. If you don't think that y'all do the comments on the side here, and Rob and I can watch your comments coming through, and we're gonna get to those. Don't worry, Brendan. I know you got that, Ron. I got you as well. I understand that you guys just kind of flow in. This man has so many millions of people watching him at one point. I want you to watch up by the Brumance logo in the very top corner, and how fast the comments come in because so many are streaming in. Just watch the top. Just watch
Liberal,
it.
libtard.
Yeah, look at it.
It's still
look at
Trump
him go.
2024.
Look at it.
I'm going to stand
That's
by
right.
it. I'm voting Trump 2024, and that's it.
Look at it
And
go.
I promise you I am.
Look at those
All right?
comments.
2024
Guys,
Trump.
that is how fast. This is how many people are watching this guy. Yeah. I got to tell you, this is this is impactful. This isn't Dana Bash, who's basically would not have a job on CNN if she didn't follow every single thing that she was told by her producers. This is just a kid, and I say kid because I'm 49 years old. He's probably his mid-20s, yeah, and he's just absolutely dominating. Again, so many people listening. I mean, so many people listening. I'll kind of mute it because you do drop the F-bombs. But so many people listening. Look at the top right corner. That's how many people are commenting every second. And he's just Trump 2024, Trump 2024, Trump 2024. That's it.
Don't care.
Don't care.
All right.
Trump 2024. All right, let's get back to it. Like, yeah, that guy just did a Donald Trump commercial that probably would have, for that kind of reach, cost whatever pack $10 million. That guy just did that. So again, I really wish Rob was here for this. But in Grizz, we're definitely going to get that in just a few minutes here, buddy. I'm glad you're okay. Grizz said, been a bad day, heard a gunshot and whizzed by me. So we're definitely going to get to that in a second here, buddy. But this is the influencers that are the top of their game, the very, very top. How about this? The number one YouTubers from back in the day, the Paul brothers, right? Jake Paul and whatever his brother's name is. They were the number one YouTubers in the world. Big mansions, crazy money, just absolutely crushing YouTube. They basically invented influencer. Okay? They invented influencer. I want you to see what they say.
Assassination on former President Donald Trump, because I know you've been kind of vocal about politics and just policy in the United States, freedom of speech, your constitutional rights, all that stuff from time to time. And I'm sure you have thoughts on it, as do I, but I've never said anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen and probably will ever see.
And it was millimeters away from being, for sure, the most meaningful moment in American history.
Yeah.
Millimeters.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think there would have been a civil war.
Something would have
hit him, but I think that's like the divine intervention for sure. I believe that God stepped in and saved him.
It's funny. It's like we saw the action of God right in front of our eyes. It's crazy.
It's quite literally what doesn't kill you makes.
It was actually and Ron Johnson's taking full credit for this. I don't know if you guys have saw this, but Ron Johnson is taking full credit. He's the act of God. No, it wasn't. Senator Ron Johnson was like, I gave Trump the chart that he was looking at. If I hadn't given him the chart, he wouldn't have gone like that. I actually respect that in every single way. But let's get back to these guys, because this is important. Again, I want you to understand, these are the top social media influencers in the entire world. So much so that guy got a bout with Tyson coming up. They postponed it, whatever they did. But I mean, this guy became a professional boxer, and everybody, the world, they were going to, I mean, the pay-per-view gate from that is going to be millions to hundreds of millions of dollars. That's how important these people are. And this guy's just in there singing the praises that God helped Trump.
Makes you stronger. And I think that's also probably why God had this exact situation happen, because he saw the path that we were going down with. And I'm not even going to say like it's Democrat, Republican, what doesn't matter. It's the people who are running the government now. The path that they were leading us to was going to be catastrophic and terrible. And I think God really intervened. Like, we need this guy right now. Everyone needs.
Number one influencer, one of the top influencers in the entire world, just said God intervened because we need Donald Trump. Again, and the only reason why I'm saying this and showing you this is in contrast to what we see on cable news, which nobody watches relatively as a percentage. Nobody's watching cable news. Again, nobody cares what Rachel Maddow, Van Jones, Sean Hannity, nobody cares what they have to say because they say the same thing every single day. Nobody listens to them. They're boring. Then these guys show up and people listen because of their reach.
Needs the flip sides. We can't have a close election. We need a landslide. We need this guy to come back in and make America great again.
Oh, wow.
Literally.
I see what you did there, Jake Paul. How wild is that? I'm not saying that as an endorsement. I'm showing Trump commercials. What I'm doing is comparing the two, basically the two allies that these people have. I got one more for you. And I have an issue with Mr. Portnoy, because we're going to get to Dave Portnoy here. Founder of Barstool Sports. A very successful man, one of the biggest followings in the world. I'll tell you that if you think you are an influencer, and the vast majority of influencers in this world do not have the pull that David Portnoy's dog has. Miss Peaches. Miss Peaches is an internet celebrity. Miss Peaches is making millions in endorsements because he's her dog and he made her a celebrity. He's a kingmaker. So check this out. Look at this. So, yeah, okay, we'll get into theology a little later, Lynn, but I want you to see this. And the reason why I have a thing with David Portnoy real quick is because he made his thing with Barstool Sports, but he started doing pizza reviews, like in his kitchen. He'd do frozen pizza reviews. And now he goes all wherever he's at. He goes to a pizza joint, he gets a big old pizza, and he says he does a one-bite review, and the guy starts smashing an entire slice of pizza from the front and the back, and he calls it a one-bite review. I got to talk about that. Maybe it's a one-slice review, Holmes. But, I mean, dude's almost gotten in fights with pizza shop owners. I mean, it's a big deal. If Dave Portnoy shows up to your pizza joint, you better bring your A+ game. But here's what he had to say.
Kamala, newsflash, ran for president in 2020. You know how many votes she got? 0. She was so disliked and such a bad candidate, she didn't make it to the first fucking primary. And I guess she's never going to have to get a real vote, because she's been handpicked on purpose by the people who have been running Joe for the last 2 or 3 years. Now they're going to try to run her and trot her out. It's disgusting. It's a hijacking of democracy. They knew Joe wasn't fit before, and they waited. Fine. All that, fine. Take it with a grain of salt. For the Democrats, like a Rob Reiner, this is the tweet I saw of Rob Reiner that just sent me off. Democracy is saved.
Oh!
Kamala's running. And all these people now, Kamala, AOC, you just said it was a coup 3 days ago, AOC. Now, Kamala. The Democrats and the left, the way they shit on our face and tell us it's 80 and sunny is so infuriating. Just admit you hijacked democracy.
There you go.
Just admit you don't care if fucking Mussolini or a head of lettuce was running against Trump. You hate him so much, you're willing to trample on democracy, steal the vote from the American public, the most supposedly important right an American has, the right to vote. You have stolen it from the Democratic Party. You have said you don't get to choose who runs for president. We do. A group of elite, small people are going to handpick and shove down your throat who you vote for. Just admit that. But this democracy is saved and America is saved. It's the lowest point for democracy in my lifetime.
Yep.
Just say you hate fucking Trump. So much you're willing to do whatever it takes to beat Trump. And it doesn't matter what rights you steal, stomp on, or whatever, you're willing to do it. If you say that, at least I'll have an ounce of respect. But this democracy is saved when you've absolutely done the worst thing for democracy. It's like we're a third world country now, the way this thing's being run. Just say that, and at least I can have an ounce of respect. And for all the people who are being, Dave, you're dangerous. Dave, shut up. Dave, what are you talking about? Stick to pizza, stick to ports. You know not what one person who has sent me a message or tried to explain, you know not what one of them has done? Explained how I'm wrong about any of it. They're just like, shut up, shut up, shut up. If one person can explain how anything I've said is wrong, I'll fucking...
That's how it is, Dave. That's how it is. Dave's not wrong. Portnoy nails that. This is the truth. I'm taking away Kamala out of this. I'm taking Trump out of this. Put anybody in there. The Democrats have done this not once, not twice, but thrice. This is a three-peat in presidential elections by the Democrats. I'm taking all the candidates out. I don't care if it's Hillary. I don't care if it's Barack. I don't care if it's Bernie. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's Mike Pence. Who cares? Save democracy. Democracy is at stake. I fear for our country. If President Trump is reelected, I fear. All the while subverting democracy? Look, we live in a representative republic. That representative republic starts with a democratic process. The most votes wins in each little spot. Most votes for Schweikert sends him to do what? Represent us in Washington, D.C., or at least CD1. I got goals, sir. Whatever. But that's how it starts with the Democrat process. The presidential Democrat process starts with a representative process starts with a primary. The primary of that party is done in a democratic way. The most votes get the most delegates. Most delegates say, this is our candidate. Our candidate is now representing the entire party, a representative democracy. That's what I'm representing republic. That's what we live in. So there's a democratic part. The only democratic part to the process, the only Democrat on the Democrat side, they have subverted once, twice, three times a lady. They have. First time they did it, they punked Bernie Sanders. They just punked him. So much so that when he finally did drop out of the race, and by the way, that is when I say he punked Bernie Sanders, she punked Bernie Sanders, Hillary punked Bernie Sanders, DNC punked Bernie Sanders. That's alive and well in the Podesta emails. That's public information. You can see it. They rigged the entire thing completely. Then you see the second time around, they rig it for they rig it for Joe Biden. They have Klobuchar back out, Bernie back out, and they have Secretary Mary P. They step out for no reason. All of them step out. They have them, and then boom, Clyburn steps up. Joe Biden wins the very next the primary, and then boom, he's off to the races. Gets Barack right behind him, and away they go. And when Bernie stepped out the first time, remember that's when he bought a summer camp. Everybody in the Northeast has a summer camp. He bought a summer home. He's a socialist. He's a multimillionaire socialist. Go try to figure that one out. Go tax the rich. Feel the burn. Yeah. So this is 3 times they've been busted doing this. And now, the most recent part of this, the most recent example of this is what we just saw before ICE. The third shot in rigging a primary for somebody is putting somebody up, and Dave Portnoy is right, who hasn't won a single vote for a delegate. Not one. Hasn't won one primary. And then, boom. I mean, look what happened in the last election. Joe Biden, in this, I think 3 times he ran for president, didn't win one primary. Not one. And now he's the candidate. Now he's the president. They do not care. David Portnoy says S on their faces. Or Ron says pee on your back and tell you it's raining. But I'm telling you, as a Democrat, your vote does not matter in the primary. Why even play in the primary? Why? There's no reason to. And then it's all this BS propaganda that they're giving with Joe Biden, at least at the first part. Joe Biden he's the nominee. He went through a fair primary. He won every single primary. He wasn't allowed. No one was allowed to compete against him. No one. No one was. So, he won. That's the same as saying that they created 15 million jobs by reopening the economy after COVID. Look at what we did. We created all these jobs. Bring manufacturing back. It's a bunch of nonsense. And now the latest is Kamala Harris and her energy behind Kamala. No. Y'all, no. Overnight. And I do believe I do back with JP Sears on that. That letter was a bunch of shenanigans. And I don't know if you saw Biden get on Air Force One, but he was asked, hey, why did you drop out of the race? And he just kind of went, doing those smiles with his aviators. It's almost like he doesn't know he did it. Overnight, every Democrat background is the Kamala logo now. Just like that. Boom. I've seen rallies around. Everybody's got their Kamala shirts overnight. Kamala's everywhere. All of a sudden now the delegates have pledged their allegiance to Kamala. They've bent the knee to Kamala. And the worst thing about all of this is, forget about the delegates. The delegates have always been bought and sold on both sides. Delegates are just delegates. Delegates just do what the RNC and the DNC tells them to do. It just is what it is. The worst part about this is the lying about fundraising. Kamala Harris did not raise $100 million in 24 to 48 hours. It did not happen. Joe Biden's war chest was signed over to her, and the pledges to Joe Biden were signed over to her, totaling X amount of millions of dollars. That doesn't be like, yay, it's Kamala, give money. I'm not a huge James O'Keefe fan. I'm just not. I think he's not a sympathetic guy. He's not relatable. He's just kind of swarmy. I like a lot of the stuff he pulls up there, and he got busted for editing a bunch of stuff. But hey, dude goes undercover and gets people to say what he wants them to say. So he has been going through the Act Blue public filings of their donors for this $100 million. And from where Joe Biden got his money to where Kamala Harris is now getting her money, he's going to these houses. One house he went to, and he shows the guy the paperwork. I mean, by the way, this is public information. You can have it too. You can go through and look at it. One guy in 3 years, I love this. Do you know how many donations he made in 3 years? 10,000. 10,000 donations to Act Blue. In 3 years, same guy, same address, 10,000 donations, totaling $160,000 plus and change. Knocked on the door. He's like, nope. He said, I gave $1,000 1 year. That's it. So he's an old guy too. He's like, I didn't give him $100,000. He goes, I hope I don't get an invoice. But that's how they do it. They have people breaking campaign laws by donating insane amounts of money, and then they take all that money and then they say, okay, this is Mike Russell donated here, times 1,000, and here's all the amounts that he did. Instead of we just take someone else's money and say that was from Mike Russell. It's fraud. It's money laundering. This is illegal in every single way, but it's like, all's fair in love and electoral politics, No. It's wrong. That's why I love Elon Musk. Elon's like, dude, listen, I'm gonna give Trump, pro-Trump anything, $45 million a month. It's coming from me, guys. Hi. This is not dark money. Hi. I'm against your woke agenda. I don't like it at all. We need a strong leader. That's what he said today. We need a strong leader, and Donald Trump is a strong leader. We need a strong leader. $45 million a month he's giving. Not dark money. Here, come to me and ask me why I gave $45 million. I'll tell you. Not this bozo Zuckerberg, like, after that assassination attempt, I better do a lot of pro-Trump stuff. Yeah. And did you see him at 4th of July? Look, as much as I can't stand the man, and he quite literally stole Facebook. Man, that American flag drinking a Coors on a surfboard is probably dude. That's pretty solid. I ain't mad at that. Yeah. Yeah. Loving electoral politics. It's war. It's dirty. It's shady. It's illegal. It's gross. And here we are. We have probably the most. I would say Joe Biden is hands down to me the statistically the worst president we've had. Him and Carter neck and neck. I think Joe's past him. But Joe at least had a half a century in DC. He had some qualifications. You know what I mean? He was one of the Senate. I mean, he's the guy. The guy did stuff. Kamala is by far the least qualified we've had, yet is being propped up because that was the one that was selected, knowing damn well. And the funny thing is, we started the show talking about her being the border czar. Do you know where czars come from? I'm not talking about Russia and all that. Do you know where the term the American czar comes from? That was from the Obama administration. See here, W I think had a few. And Obama just celebrated it. It's the right thing to do. These lunatics can't get past the Senate hearing. Yeah, make them a czar. Yeah, make them a czar. They're lunatics. They're my buddies. By the way, I told yesterday I met up with a good friend of mine, Tim Forshee. You're gonna see on the Go shows a lot. Firearms expert to the nth degree, legal, the law side of it. So if you guys want some of that, let me know. Because you've got a question about firearm law. That guy knows. Huge Magnum PI fan. Huge. I thought I broke his heart when I told him that Barack Obama bought the Magnum PI mansion and leveled it. He didn't know that. And it just hurt his soul almost. He goes, I think I have 7 pictures of Tom Selleck up in the house. Like he's the idol. Like he wears a Hawaiian shirt. I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, yeah. So the czars. So it's funny to me that Kamala was a czar because no one would ever pick her to run the border. There's no way in the world. I mean, I don't even know how they got Mayorkas through, but they did. But it's the equivalent on roids because they know Kamala could not win a primary. She's never won a primary. She wasn't going to get the votes. Democrats will not back her. So they have to get her into a situation where they have so much fear in this nation where if Donald Trump is elected, democracy is over. And then at the very end, just go, boop, plop her right on in there where the no more votes have to be done. We don't have to have one more primary. Nope. Because RFK Jr. would have mopped the floor. That would have been a serious problem. How Cornel West would probably have at least run within the margin of error against her. She would have had to debate. There's no way in the world she would have survived that. So they waited to the very end, ousted Joe, put her in. You can't. Change my mind. Try to change my mind. Brennan's getting a lot, man. I'm telling you. As long as he didn't touch the Ferrari, buddy, I'm positive that Ferrari is somewhere in probably one of the Smithsonian's or. You'll see it at Barrett Jackson at some point, but yeah, the Ferrari. But no, come on, the house. Oh, and by the way, just a little fun fact: the Obamas got an EPA waiver to destroy a reef in front of their place so they could have a private beach. Oh, about the Earth, my green, save the ocean, save the planet. Yeah, yeah. Carrie Lake. Hey, we're not going to talk about Carrie Lake. We're done with Carrie Lake. My man, where you at, kid? Grizz, where you at, dude? So, what went down here? I want to talk to my man Grizz about this because this is kind of dicey, buddy. You said you had a bad day. Heard gunshots and it whizzed by him, and say you were by GCU. Okay, so not the probably most not crime ridden area. Okay. Just want everyone to be safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Live life. Stop the hate. Not worth it. My man, Grizz, I'm proud of you, buddy. This is well said, bud. Well said, man. We're not talking about Willie's Willie. Mark Lamb got it. Yeah, buddy. Listen, and so were you in your truck? What happened there? I mean, were you in your truck? Are you walking around at GCU? What was going on there? Because I mean, dude, having a bullet was by is no joke. It's no joke. So when you think about it, yeah, I don't blame the gun. Good man. I'm very proud of you for that one as well. Because, well, I'm not proud of you. I know you're a common sense dude. You're we the people. But was there a volley going on, or was it just a shot went off? Was doing an inspection in a really bad neighborhood. Yeah. That's not surprising. But remember, crime's not up. That according to Dana Bash, because Kamala Harris is running for president, so we have to say no, that's not it at all. Okay, but okay. So think about this, Chris. So I'm sure Chris has a new appreciation for what happened to the president of the United States 2 weeks ago. And okay, like you hear that, you feel that whiz, you're like, I was that close to dead. Right, guys, I'm going to tell you this real be very straight with you. I won't share the second story, but y'all know the first story about me having a portion of my skull pushed into my brain with a rock when I was attacked. I've come pretty damn close to death twice, and it does change. It really, really does change. I mean, that's kind of why I get fired up about certain issues, but I mean, it's fun to have conversations with you guys, but we're all here to have fun and love each other. And we know this country has survived a lot worse than we're seeing now, and it will continue to survive. He said, I heard 2 shots, looked around, and then 2 more, and heard it was by me. Damn, dude, did you just hit the ground? I mean, whoa. I mean, wait, I know what I did in that situation. I did in a similar situations. I was armed, luckily, but that scared me even more because I was thinking, okay, I might have to go to guns with these people. Track meets in that neighborhood when someone was in high school. Yeah, no idea where it came from, and you really don't. And especially if it's a volley, if it's just one person shooting, okay, but you get a volley, you don't know where that stuff's coming from. And by the way, do not buy into any hype, because I know we do this on the Go Show. But don't buy into the hype where people, you need to ban silencers. We need to ban silencers because you won't know where the gunfire is coming from. Yes, you will. You will. It's louder than a balloon pop. So, I mean, it doesn't silence it. It just hushes it a little bit. So, shh. Dude, I'm telling you, Grizz, I'm happy, man. I'm happy you're okay. I'm happy. I hope everyone else is okay in that situation. Even the person shooting, I'm not wishing death on anyone. But hopefully they get that guy 100% get whoever's out there firing off rounds downtown, man. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you are blessed, buddy. You truly are blessed. But unlike everybody saying that it was God that helped Donald Trump, it was actually Ron Johnson. And I just think that I for some reason, I don't know why that makes me laugh so much, that Ron Johnson is taking credit for it, because he's the one that gave Trump the sign that he was looking at, the chart that he was looking at. So it's like, without that chart, without him. But we are, Rhonda, very well said. We're glad you're okay, buddy. We are, and we're glad that you're taking it as a positive moment in your life, and a little something to help you see a little bit more clearly. And yeah, it's just ain't no reason to be hating. Ron Johnson is a senator, Lynn. And he basically gave the president the chart for that little the rally of his talking about immigration. There's an immigration chart that Trump was talking about when he turned and looked like this, and it hit his ear instead of his dome piece. So yeah. What a show. Wow. That was a lot of fun. And of course, always, you guys just always sharing it out and liking it and helping us out. You guys have been so amazing. So we're getting some good momentum, and I'm not talking about phony momentum like we're seeing behind Kamala Harris. We're seeing real momentum in this show and in this and in this time. So we really, really appreciate you. Hope you guys like the time slot. We sure enjoy it. It's great meeting up with you around lunchtime. So we'll do it again tomorrow. It will be the both of us. It'll be the dynamic duo. We'll ride again tomorrow right here on Russell and Hunter. Thank you so much for playing along, and we'll